So I'm going to show you how to sprout buckwheat. Okay, I've got buckwheat. I prefer this Jelly Belly brand right here.
Are you going to confuse people?
I'm just reusing the container. This isn't really Jelly Belly. It's just buckwheat. Buckwheat groats, cup and a half.
How much do they usually cost in bulk?
I don't know, I'd have to check. They're pretty cheap. Cup and a half is the max that you can put in. You might want to just put a cup in if you don't know if you're going to eat them very fast. But I eat them pretty fast.
And this is a special kind of jar you're putting it in?
This is a regular mason jar with a sprouting lid that you can buy at a co-op.
Probably seen those before.
And you can use cheesecloth and rubber band instead of this, but this is much easier. Okay, so then I just put it right in here. And then I use the sprouting lid to like drain it, like rinse it, because I haven't really cleaned the buckwheat. And then I'm going to do it one more time. And now I'm going to soak them. And you soak them for 4 to 6 hours ideally, but it has worked for me soaking it 3 hours, and it's worked for me soaking it 10 hours, but 5 hours is really the target time for soaking. Now it's 4 hours later, and I'm going to drain these. And then I'm just going to rinse them. And drain them one more time. And then I just put them in my dish drainer. You can't put them straight down because they need to breathe through these holes in the sprouting lid. And so I just put them in the dish drainer, but otherwise you'd have to put it on a plate and prop it up a little bit at an angle so the air can pass through. So I'm just going to put it there and let it keep draining. Okay, it's the next morning, and I'm just going to water them. Just fill it up, let them drain again. Basically want to be watering them about twice a day, in the morning and night, until they're sprouted. So now it's the next morning. Last night I forgot to water these, but Brian watered them, and now we're going to eat them for breakfast. And you can see that's how they look. You could let them sprout a little longer, but now I'll put them in the fridge with the sprouting lid on so that they can still have air circulating in them. But if you keep them more than like 3-4 days, then you should put a regular mason jar lid on it so they don't dry out. So these are the buckwheat sprouts in a bowl. They taste like alfalfa sprouts kind of, but more bread-like, and they're really good with fruit. You have them with a cut up peach and bananas. They're also really good with shredded apple, cashew milk. And then more recently I started putting a couple of teaspoons of ground flax on it, but that's a little bit more hardcore, so I might suggest trying it without the flax. The flax does thicken the cashew milk quite a bit, but it's very good for you.